Hey there, Rivermen fans. Welcome to another edition of Trudel's Take, presented by Premier Epoxy. Jason Ruff joined once again, and as always, by Rivermen head coach Jean-Guy Trudel. Guy, you mentioned the dog days of winter. I think we're in the dog days of winter with how the weather has been lately, my friend.
Yeah, not so good in Illinois right now. It's been tough. School's been canceled the last 2 days, and rink have been canceled at night, a few nights in the past week or so. So it's tough, but it is what it is. I love every second of it. Nice to have snow a little bit. Don't like the slush, but nice to have snow a little bit. And it is wintertime, so you got to expect it.
I was about to say, for a lot of Canadians and folks like you from the Great White North, this is like it's a normal Tuesday. What are you talking about?
This actually is nothing.
Yeah.
This would be like a great day for us to be able to drive on these nice highways and stuff like that. Here it's like it's the end of the world, but again, I understand why not as many workers there. They're used to doing what they do, and we always say 6 to 8 inches a light day there. And where I live, I live really north. I live about 7 hours north of Montreal, so I'm really up there.
Quick story: when I was in Odessa, Texas, which is West Texas in the Panhandle, where all the oil is drilled out of, all 3 of my years they always got a little bit of snow, about yay much. Closed down everything.
Oh, it's
everything.
crazy.
You would have thought like the entire town was shut down, and it would be a massive blizzard had come in. Is he? No, just an inch of snow.
Even yesterday, I was out everywhere, and since we had no youth hockey, and anything, so I was like everything was closed. So I just did my my honey-do list and was driving, and the roads were absolutely perfect. So it is what it is. I understand the whys, but it's it is what it is in Illinois.
It is what it is in Illinois. It is what it is for the Peoria Rivermen. First sweep of 2024 against the Evansville Thunderbolts. 2-1 on the road, 3-2 here at home. All 5 goals for the Rivermen coming on the power play. How good has the special teams unit become, both power play and penalty kill?
Well, we understand. We understand for a few years how important special teams are, and I think both ways. I think we're 1-1. I think in both. So right now it's going extremely well. And I always say, we talk about goaltending. That's your best penalty killer. I think we're making the saves that we have to. We're not giving much, but when we do give something, the goaltenders are there to do what they have to do. And then power play wise has been it's been a great addition of having Fordsey and Bakes on that power play. It's usually our second kind of power play, but right now they're our first power play. They got all last 5 goals, so good for them, and we just got to continue that way. But you know what? For every positive, there's a little bit of a negative. We got to be a little bit better 5-on-5. I think we're creating tons of chances, but I think we need and we have a lot of empty netters. We just need to be a little bit hungrier there around the net.
We talked a lot about building blocks for the playoffs, building blocks over the course of the season. What kind of building blocks and steps did the Rivermen take last weekend?
Well, I think it's been for about 3 weeks now. I think the locker room is so much fun again. I don't know. It's like free. It's happy. It's ready to go to work. It's attention to details every single practice. Right now, guys want to learn. So I think we're completely different than we were a month and a half ago. It's a lot of fun to be around everybody right now. For me as a teacher, it's always fun when guys want to learn and get better. And I think with new players and also with our, I think a lot of people realize when we made the trade that, you got to be really thankful to be a Riverman. I think sometimes you kind of lose that in translation when the year is long and you're in the dog days. And we always talked about humble athletes, thankful athletes, and that's what we want here in Peoria. And right now everybody's on the same page and just really, really excited to be here, really happy to be here. And with that, you get a lot more work ethic and a lot more, I think, attention to details daily. Even in practice, guys are really wanting to learn, and it's fun to teach again.
When you have players that want to learn, how does that manifest itself on the ice? Is it just more asking questions? Hey, how do you do this in this situation? What do I do there? Or is it more just body language?
Body language, attitude, eyes. Really focus on what you're saying and trying it right away. Works, doesn't work, keep trying it until it works. I don't know, it's just happy again. It's great. We get in practice, everybody's excited about practice. It used to be a chore, now everybody's excited again. So it's a lot of fun. I think I don't know, the old Riverman way is back. And it's fun right now to, not only be a player, I'm sure, but to be a coach also.
Absolutely. Now, the Rivermen getting some contributions from newcomers. You mentioned them earlier, Caleb Ford and Dawson Baker, both those two gentlemen getting on the score sheet last weekend. along with Mario Cavalieri, a lot of Carolina Thunderbirds coming up from the FPHL. Tell us a little bit of how that relationship has grown between Peoria and Carolina a little bit.
Well, the last few years we tried, but unfortunately, I was never getting through to players. And Steve Harrison's the head coach now there. He played in Peoria, and he's a good man, and he wants the best for his players. And I wasn't sure on Ford and Baker just for the fact that last year was so hard to even talk to them. And then when I spoke to Steve, he's like, absolutely. And they wanted to play the last game in Columbus to help the team out. And he's like, no, just get on the road and go to Peoria and do your best. And for us, we're very, sometimes you deal with different types of personality as coaches at different level, ECHL or Federal Hockey League. And we're lucky to have Steve's a good one, and he wants the best for his players. So we were lucky enough to get all three.
One of the key threads that I've heard you talk about all the newcomers coming in from Carolina, whether it be Mario Cavalieri, whether it be Dawson Baker or Caleb Ford, who goes by Gus, by the way, is that they are just so not only thankful to be here, but so hungry and eager to learn. When you have an opportunity, and this is an opportunity, being here in the SPHL, being here with the Peoria Rivermen, one of the premier franchises in this league, is an opportunity. When you have that opportunity and you have a willingness to make the most of that opportunity, what can you do with that as a coach?
You can do a lot, and what kids or players at any level don't understand is once you have that type of attitude, like coaches want to help you even more. It's human nature. You want to do it for everybody. Well, when a kid is really eager to learn, is really thankful, humble, happy to be here, want to do the best for your hockey team, and it's so much fun to practice. It's so much more working with them every single day because they're there. They want to learn. They want to get better. They want to be here. And I always say 50% of the fight is always getting great athletes that want to be there and have great attitudes. And with that, if you have that great leadership, you already won 50% of your games without even stepping on the ice. It's just a matter of, the rest is then after that putting all the habits and details. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been refreshing to have guys that are extremely excited to be here. And I know how fortunate I am to coach this hockey team. And I think if you talk to Eric Levine, he understands how fortunate we are to be here. And once you have players that feel the same way, you're starting to see something special. And, we know we're missing 6-7 players. So imagine when everybody comes in and with that attitude, we're going to be a pretty tough team to beat.
Tell us a little bit, in your estimation, the resiliency of this team, having some key leaders out either due to injury or suspension, guys like Alec Hageman, Zach Wilkie, Tristan Trudel even as well, guys who are important both on special teams and on 5-on-5, yet this team's able to show great resiliency and come away with 2 big victories and 4 points.
Yeah, I tell you this all the time. We don't like to make excuses because we also understand everybody's in the same boat. I mean, Evansville's missing, 2 or 3 of their best players also, and we're missing 6 or 7. If you look at, Quad City, we're missing 6 or 7. Now they're down to missing 2. Like, everybody goes through it right now. The dog days, there's a lot of injuries in the ECHL. There's a lot of call-ups. There's a lot of injuries at our level. So it is what it is. But like I said, if you have the right attitude, it's not like we played perfect hockey. I think we had a great Sunday game. I think Saturday's game was so-so. But when you have the right attitude and the willing to do whatever it takes to win, I told you already won 50% of the battle. Then it's about habits and details, special teams, and which were absolutely phenomenal this weekend. And I'm really, even though it wasn't a Da Vinci, it was still like really, really nice to see guys kind of buying in, starting to scratch and claw for everything that we get.
I want to key in on that Sunday game just a minute, though. What made that Sunday game so great in your estimation?
Well, we had the eyes. I mean, it's Sunday. It's not always easy. We travel. We got here at 4 a.m. Guys are a little tired. Same for them. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, you don't know what to expect. But it's just the effort every single game. Now we come out hard. We had a 12-4 shot in the first period. Even though we were down, we could have been up 5-1 that game. And we know that Cole Cece's really good goaltender, so he made some outstanding saves. But just the eyes, the want to win, the no panic. We were down. It didn't matter. We knew we were going to come back somehow. And I thought in that game we probably only had 5 to 10 minutes that we didn't play the Rivermen way. Everything else, puck possession, the ozone, the movement, and that's a thing with the new players also. They play the way I want. We always talk about if somebody's in a better spot, then you just give them the puck.
Yep.
And now we're sharing the puck a lot better. We're just moving the puck to the guy that's open all the time, and that's what we used to do. And one thing also, our net presence, even with Mitch coming out, a retirement. I know he's a little banged up right now, but coming out of retirement, and just that present that he brings, to the net front, to the little details, and guys are excited to have him. And it just shows, guys like Mitch McPherson that hasn't skated in seven
Yeah.
months, but because he's so dialed in on details and habits every
Mm-hmm.
single day, and he loves the Rivermen,
Mm-hmm.
he played another outstanding game. So for us, that's what I'm impressed the most right now. We're getting traction and being consistent.
Yeah.
Like it's been a long time since we didn't have that attitude, but now it's been 2-3 weeks of guys consistent in practice, consistent in games. Like I said, they haven't been perfect game, but it's beautiful hockey right now. We're just going to keep building on it.
I want to touch on Mitch McPherson real quick because you and I have talked in pre-games about just his attitude and his work ethic and just how effective he is with the puck and winning board battles. Even, yes, at his age, even the fact that he hasn't played in 7 months. Where's that all come from? Is it all mental or is it something physical as well?
It is. He's nothing bothers him. He's an old school guy that is ready to do whatever it takes, and he understands that the 95% is more important than the skill.
Mm-hmm.
And he also understands that what his role is on any given day, on any given line I put him with. And he loves the Rivermen. He loves Peoria. He wants to do well. So he always comes in with a great attitude. And the thing about Mitch also, he's not always going to have great shifts, but even when he doesn't have a good shift, bad shift, he comes back on the bench. He knows he's got a few deep breaths. He gets ready mentally for next shift, and nothing phases him. And that's the kind of body language you want. You want to understand that it's not always going to be perfect shift to shift, but just ready to go. It's it's funny, but like Ted Lasso says, you kind of have to have the what is it, goldfish kind of mentality, that 10 seconds and you forget everything when it's a bad shift. And Mitch has it. He just gets to the bench and he's ready to go next shift. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to play him 19 minutes last game, but again, we're really short on players.
Yep.
And I believe, actually, and it's no disrespect to anybody, but he was our best left winger out there. So you got to play him more, and he was able to handle it. And now, like I said, he's a little banged up, but we'll hopefully get him back here for weekend games here in Peoria.
Although I will say, I think we saw Mitch McPherson fail to get a dump and retrieval for the first time ever last Saturday. That was hilarious.
Yeah, we actually mentioned it on the bench. I'm like, this is the first time, boys, you'll ever see this, because you could see his legs were done at the end of the game. He's like, I'm not going to get that.
Well, he's sitting in front of the net. Yeah. He's waiting for the ring in, and it goes all the way around,
He looked at it. He was like, my legs are done.
Nope, business decision.
It's because that's his game. He always gets those usually, and he always wins the battle. So we were howling on the bench, and we were howling also in the locker room after. It's the first time in history Mitch doesn't get a net release.
The look on Mitch McPherson's face, like, watch. Like, nope. Nope.
But wow, what an effort he gave us, though. That was awesome.
And a great personality to have in the locker room, too. A guy who's done it all with you, who knows a lot of the guys both in this locker room and some of the guys he's played against. What kind of personality does he bring to the room here on game days?
Confidence. He just walks in like he owns the place. He knows he's going to do his job. As a coach, it's so nice because you know what to expect. Right. And that's where we kind of were missing for a good 3. I didn't know what I was going to get day to day with anybody. And with Mitch, you know what he's going to do. He's going to do his job. He's going to be sick in the defensive zone. He's going to be, he's going to do exactly. And even like I said, he hasn't skated a lot. You still know he's going to do it a little bit, maybe a little slower some shifts, but he still does it exactly the same as he always done. So it's always nice for a coach to know what you're going to get.
It's taking advantage of opportunities you didn't necessarily know might be coming your way, because he thought he was done. And then a few weeks ago, you call him, it was like, hey, we need bodies.
Yeah, and then I remember that day he actually got to the rink, I think an hour 15 before the game, and put his skates on and just went. And that's what old school is. Old school days, mentally, you didn't worry about the world around you. If you're a hockey player, you're a hockey player, and you do your job. Yeah. And that's what, like, we struggle kind of making younger guys understand that your mental edge just comes from you understanding who you are and doing what you do best, and Mitch will always do that.
Yeah. Mario Cavalieri, how happy did you feel for him? The emotion he showed after picking up his first FPHL win. You could tell that one was a long time coming.
Yeah, I mean, it gets stressful. You know, like every athlete that's going through a slump. You know, if you're a goal scorer and you haven't scored in 5-6 games, it gets heavier and heavier. And for him as a goalie, he wanted that win bad. And I'm happy the boys did a great job. I think we only gave up on the Instat like 19 shots on net. Did a great job, and he just made the saves that he's supposed to make, and a few tip-ins that, you know, unfortunately went by him. But that's hockey, and for us, it's just bring him a win. So hopefully, like we always talk about, getting that monkey off his back, feeling good about himself. And I mean, it's not like he's playing bad. It's just sometimes it was just little little things here and there that kind of made us lose a game, and it's nice to give the kid a win because what a fantastic teammate and human that kid is.
Oh, yeah. The common through line I'm seeing here, Mitch McPherson, Mario Cavalieri, Dawson Baker, Caleb Ford, all these guys getting opportunities that maybe for some came out of the blue or at least unexpected, but now that they have that opportunity, they're making the most of it.
They are, and then like we talked about, now you have to be consistent in that because I told them when they came in, we have a lot of injuries, we have a lot of call-ups, but I want you guys to come in and steal spots. That's what it's all about for me. I love all my boys, but at the end of the day, I'm paid to try to bring championships to Peoria. So whoever wants it more, wants to be in the lineup, and who's thankful, humble, ready to go to work every single day, and is a real team guy, that's the guys I'm going to keep. So like I said, it's the process is always great because it allows you to see who can be. Who can be on your team at the end of the year, or who just can't cut it. So it's a great process, and those are 2 pickups. If they can continue being consistent, those are like with Mario 3, but the 2 forwards are. I expected really good players, but I think if they keep buying in and being consistent, those are going to be 2 big additions.
And with players coming back off of suspension, off of IR, from call up, it's going to make some difficult decisions coming here.
It is, but at the same time, that's what pro hockey is.
And that's what you want as a coach, right?
What you want competition at every position. That's why we brought Mario in. We felt like the goaltending was a little stale for a while here, so Mario comes in, and then he's a phenomenal teammate, but at the same time he's a competitor, and that I thought Tino kind of picked up his game after that, and then every position, man, you want to be part of a pro team. I don't care what level it is. It should be hard work. It should be competition, and we have that right now, and it's going to be fun to see what's going to happen here in the next. We have a lot of guys coming off IR and really good players coming off IR, so it's going to be a great competition. Whoever wants to be here and do the right things every day are going to be here.
Rivermen also going to be on the road for the next couple of weeks, including this weekend against the Knoxville Ice Bears, 2 games on Friday and Saturday night. When playing a team that is as desperate as the Knoxville Ice Bears are to try to turn their season around, what needs to be the primary focus going into a tough road stand?
Well, I think there are 5 things we talk about all the time. Our special teams has to be one. Can't give 3 or less odd man rushes. We have to be strong on face-off. Over there, smaller rink, so we know our wall battles are going to be absolutely key. That's how we're going to get separation offensively. And then D-zone, we know they shoot from everywhere, so our goaltender's got to be strong on the first save. And if it does go low to high, our wingers have to do a job, and that's it. And after that, we know how to play. We know what we have to do in every situation. But I always say, if you win the special team battles, and then after that, if you understand what they do extremely well, what you have to take away, and what you can expose, and you just do that, and you're good to go. And we know it's going to be a battle. They're in playoff mode right now. They're a few points behind Quad City for that last playoff spot. So they're going to come hard. And for us, it's the same thing. We just go there. And for us, I told you this, and I told my players this: we don't care about wins and losses. I know it sounds bad for fans, but I don't care. I want the process. I want guys to get great reps. I want them to get better every single day. And once we're about a month from the playoffs, then wins and losses are going to be the absolute key, because if you look and you put all the pressure in the world to win every single game, it's tough to play the game. If you just look at it that you want to get better in certain areas every single game, then it's just focusing on that. Then you can be dialed in on what you have to do instead of just thinking that if the picture's too far away, it's way too much pressure. Right. So for us, it's going there and doing what we do best.
It's all about building for playoffs.
You got it, buddy.
And that building continues this weekend in Knoxville. The Rivermen on the road for a Friday-Saturday series. Face-off set for 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:35 p.m. Central on Friday night. We'll be on the air on Mixler and Flow Hockey. Guy, thanks so much for your time. As always, best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
For Jean-Guy Trudel, I'm Jason Ruff. This has been Trudel's Take, presented by Premier Epoxy.